What's going on? Welcome live here. It is Saturday. How's everyone doing out there? What's everyone up to? How's you guys' Saturday treating you so far? It's going good? Why do I have some weird audio going on my desktop? I don't know. Okay, it looks like it's back. What is going on here? Are you guys hearing feedback or something? I got something weird going on and I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. So let me know if you got feedback. I might have to turn down my desktop audio. Maybe that's better. Was there feedback coming back? Could anyone hear anything? It was good. There was no feedback. That's so weird. All right, I'll put it back on then. All right, put the desktop audio back up. For sound effects and stuff if somebody does anything crazy. But yeah, it's so weird. I don't know. I am having a line there, and when I turn on my actual speakers, I can hear the feedback. So, yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about. I was checking to make sure everything here is muted. Yeah. Oh, that one's not. Oh, there we go. That might be better. I might have fixed it. I think I fixed it. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, it looks good now. I think I did fix it. I had audio on. The stupid Kickster was being kind of mental. All right, so we're back. We're normal. Live, and I got to bring up my chats again. All right, roll call time. What do we got here? Slow day. What's going on? Panda's still live. Panda streaming. Everyone's over there checking out, see what's going on over there. You got 19 viewers, 8 likes. Hit that like button, guys. We see Scaper over in the Twitchster. Sounds good to you? I don't know. That was so weird. I had some type of feedback. Don't know what it was. Panda's still alive. All right. We got Squirrel Master. What is happening? Keith Henninger. Oh.
Rud Putts in the house. Nuclear power plant. Rud Putts.
He's there. We got Monkey Dude. J-Rod D. What is that? Fermanti Pensa Agassi? The Pirate. Be more stupid. That's hilarious. That's a good name. How many tars are mining Tari? Looked at their GitHub and the project is like 3 years old already. Haha. So yeah, the project started. Remember, when you look at a GitHub, it's from when they started doing things. It's been in testnet for a long time, but it just went to mainnet 2 days ago, and no coins from testnet hit mainnet. So it is in fact a start from zero chain. It just went live 2 days ago. So the project on mainnet is only 2 days old, and there is no coins from that testnet entering mainnet. So you are starting at the start of the chain as of right now, which is way normal coins do usually work. They run testnet for a while to get things worked out, and then they go to mainnet, and it actually started from scratch once mainnet hit. So that's actually a good thing, not a tard thing. So keep that in mind. How it's going to do, we have no idea, but we'll just have to see how the future plays out. Audio is all good over here. Sounds good. Okay, Squirrel Master, Jock McMiner, what's happening? J-Rod D. Oh, what is that one? Blupadraman Altomini. He said there was feedback, so he caught that one. Squirrel Master, J Styles, what is happening? What's the value of the project? No idea, because it's not listed. So it's 100% spec, just like any coin. So is it going to do anything? It might not do anything. Is it going to do? It could do something. We have no idea. It's a pure spec project right now. So, your guess is as good as mine on how it'll do moving on to the future. 30% pre-mine. A lot of coins have pre-mines too. Like pre-mine, a lot of things get embedded in people's heads. I'm not defending Tari because I don't know what it's going to do. It could be a rug pull. It might not. We have no idea. That's the thing with spec coins. But, just like seed phrases with wallets. So it's embedded in our heads because that's all everyone ever talks about. And it's like media feeding people, this is all they talk about. So it has to be true. So, just like seed phrases, everyone needs a seed phrase because then your wallet's not secure when that's not the case. You have to realize it's all about your private keys. And like when the early Tasms came out, there were no seed phrases. There was an uproar of people until they realized how it actually works. Private keys. A seed phrase is just access to your private keys. And because your private keys is on the card, it's technically safer than having just a seed phrase for a normal desktop wallet and stuff, because people can get into that stuff or take a picture through a camera and get your seed phrase, things like that. Now, when it comes to pre-mines, It just depends on how it is used, just like everything else. Pre-mines are good if used properly. Now, if, obviously if there's, 30% of the chain is a pre-mine, and then as soon as the price pumps in like say 4 or 5 months, obviously they have the majority of the coins because the chain is, very early in its turn. If they dump them all, yeah, it's a rug pull. But if they, keep their coins or they sell slow little amounts, because that is how they fund their project, because they're not taking anything from block rewards like a lot of successful other chains do as well. Some of the block rewards are going to the devs straight out of that, so they're constantly mining for free and getting coins to dump on people. But that's how they get their money to keep working on their project. So it all comes down to how they use it. Now, if they use it wisely, moving forward, it could be amazing and the project could do great and it won't be a rug pull. If they sell it right off the get-go, as soon as there's some type of price action, then yes, it's a rug pull and the project dies. So pre-mines can be good, but it all comes down to how the devs actually use it. So that still has to be considered. So I wouldn't just say, okay, pre-mine called. Now, some coins that say 80% pre-mine, we know that's a rug pull right off the get-go. Or if they run into a 50-50 node thing, like a lot of those Raptorium forks where they go in and they automatically go straight to 80% nodes straight after they go live, then yes, that's most likely going to be a rug pull as well. So it all comes down to how these coins are actually utilized, and it's too soon for us to tell. So you can throw every red flag up there, which is 100% okay. It's always good to be cautious. But until we actually see what happens, we have no idea. This could become the next amazing thing, or it might turn into nothing, or it could be something decent that actually lasts a while. So it's still way too early to tell, and we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. Does it worth to start CPU mining XMR? I am new in mining. Well, XMR is obviously an amazing coin here. Let's just take a look at it. Where's XMR? Let's bring up mining pool stats, I guess. The network hash rate is extremely high right now. And for various reasons. One, obviously, because the price is doing so good. Like I have a button here for that. I know I do. There we go. Look at XMR price. $325, guys. I told you, we're going to be going to $400. And people, like last year, 2 years ago, said it's never going to happen again. But it does it every cycle. So hopefully we see the 400. I'm happy with like 380, 390. But we are rocking XMR. The price is moving right now, and it's looking freaking amazing. But with higher prices, obviously comes higher hash rate. Here we can see we're almost pushing 5 gigahash on the network, which is insane. Remember when this used to only be like 1.5 gigahash? But the price was like only like what, $80 at the time or something. So everyone's like still not really profitable. If you were mining then and you sold now, you're probably making about $2 or $3 a day mining this 2 years ago, hodling till right now. But obviously as price increases, hash rate increases, other factors are coming into play now on the Monero hash rate, like Cubic. They're going to be moving into their idle mining here. Tari, for an example, Tari is actually merge mining XMR with Tari. So if you're on CPUs, you're actually mining 2 coins at once. You are getting XMR as well as mining Tari. So that's another thing you got to keep in mind, adding to the hash rate of Monero as well. So there's a lot of different things going on that's equaling the increase in hash rate here. But, obviously it comes down to the price, more botnets or larger botnets, and, everyone else also turning on. But yeah, it's looking awesome. Hash rate's increasing, obviously, but price is determined. And a lot of people at Kaspa, that's a big excuse for Kaspa, is, the power law. Because so much people are using it, it's using so much power, the price has to go up. No, hash rate follows the price. The price does not follow the hash rate, most of the time. So just kind of, I kind of shake my head when I see the argument all the time. It has to go up because the hash rate's high and it's using a lot of power. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have to go anywhere because of how many damn miners are on it, or less miners and more centralized, but it's crazy. Octa.Space charging 5% on all hosting charges. Totally worth it. 5% on... What do you mean by hosting charges? What kind of hosting? Like what are they hosting? I haven't looked at Octa.Space for a while. Like originally I know they had their VPN and or DPN, whatever they're calling it. But anyway, their VPN thing. And then they started adding a whole bunch of more infrastructure and hosting and running rigs kind of like Vast and stuff. But I'm not sure... what all they're doing. They're hosting, like, can they do websites and stuff? Like, what's the 5% hosting charge? I'm curious. I got to look into that because they do have a big ecosystem. GPU rentals. Oh, so they 5% on all. Oh, so like a vast AI thing. So you put your rigs there, but then whatever you make, they're charging 5%. Is that a decent price? Like I haven't really used any hosting platform, so it's 5%. So it's like a 5% fee to host there. Instead of taking like a chunk of your rewards, they are doing a 5% thing. So actually, that's decent, isn't it? They're killing it. Are you being sarcastic? They're killing it like they're ripping everyone off, or are they killing it because that's a freaking super cheap fee and it's good? Like, I don't know. I don't know the difference between all these platforms. I've been using them. I don't have the internet to do half these things, but it sounds like it's a good thing. 5% seems, decent compared to, some places are actually charging you an arm and a leg just to have your rig there and taking half your profits. So 5% does seem good. So am I reading that right? Or am I reading that wrong? Hey, Layla, what's going on? What is happening? What are you doing? You got your hands on some new ASICs that aren't released yet that you're testing for yourself? Let us know. Fill us in on the goods, Layla. Come on. You know you want to. Fill us in. What is going on? No, seriously, great deal. They have one-click activation for clients. Awesome, awesome. You are Layla is testing. You guys hear that? There's new miners not announced yet that Layla has in testing. They're coming. Whatever it is, they're coming. And they're going to blow people's minds. One of them's probably the Ravencoin one. Is it? Do you got that one yet? Is that thing made? How about a Leo? You got the Leo one, don't you? Oh my gosh, you got all this stuff. Likely a Leo. Well, yeah, Leo miners are coming. We're in that time frame. What was it? 6-7 month delay. We're coming up to that 6-7 months now. Next month after, I do expect Bitmain's Leo to be announced. So that's where new Bitcoin miners coming and alt miners too. What would the new Bitcoin ones be? I wonder. Curious about that. What do you think if I buy 2 Epic 7K62 CPUs in one server motherboard? So a dual Epic build is what you're saying there. 7K62. I'm not sure. I'm going to copy that and look at that. I'm not sure what the Epic 7K62 is. Let's have a quick peek here. 7K2 benchmark. Okay, so it's 3.3 on the turbo, clock's 2.6, 48 core, 96 thread. Where's the L3 in this unit? Does it say the L3? L3. Specs. Doesn't have L3. 256 mega. Oh yeah, that one's good. Yeah, that'll be good. That's an all right, depending on price. So depending on the price, that should be a decent thing. Decent unit. What do we got? I gotta bring up all my other chats again. There we go. Leo small miners will be smashed. Oh, we know that. Once Bitmain releases their Leo miner, we know everything that's been released to date will be bricks. Gone. See you later. Yeah, they're just gonna be garbage. All the Ice River ASICs, all the AE zeros, all the gold shell, which gold shell is already dumb. But yeah, what we all know, once Bitmain releases those Leo miners, it's over. Game over for anything that's currently released whatsoever. I'll be a miner tester. The efficiency of Bitmain is booming. Is it? They gaining a lot of efficiency now? Well, they've always been good. The only ones that Bitmain hasn't really been doing well on, I don't know if you'll agree with me on this or not, Layla, is their ETH hash miners. Are they going to improve those or not? Because their efficiency isn't the greatest. They come in decent price for a decent amount of hash, but at the end of the day, the efficiency is just not there. Are they boosting those ones up eventually? Hi mates, anyone does not get rewards with Tari too? Yeah, I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of people aren't getting the rewards. Now there's a lot of things I am unaware about. Like let me bring mine up, see if I can get it. Tari Universe. So this is obviously just the basic, I guess, thingamajigger here. The Windows app, the nice, easy to use, and they're pushing this thing like crazy. Like, from a lot of us, we want to run our own nodes. We can see just the basic, I guess, thingamajigger here. the Windows app, the nice, easy to use. And they're pushing this thing like crazy. Like, you know, from a lot of us, we want to run our own nodes so we can point our HiveOS XM rigs and stuff, or your GPU farm. There's no documentation. You know, it's hard to get a hold of over their Discord, and even then they don't answer. So their node stuff, and everything they talk about is getting everyone to use the Tari universe. But the problem with this is it's mostly just solo mining. That you do get grouped into pools if you have the option. I think we have the options here. Let's go to that. Let's go into pool mining. So here you can see you have the option here. When enabled, you mine to a pool and a group of miners. So now it's like P2 pool, and you're like almost like you're put together in little groups. Like you're not all together. So you're in like groups here, or you can obviously turn it off, and then you're straight up into solo mining mode. But we're going to turn that back on here. Let this thing boot up, because now it has to sync the node and stuff again, do its thing. 2 minutes remaining. So hopefully I don't forget about that, and we'll come back and we'll kind of look. I'll show you what I mean, where it kind of shows you the pool group. So you probably haven't got any rewards yet, because it's based on the group you're in. You guys together, if you're in pool mode, haven't found a block together. So you're not getting any rewards. And like I said, a whole bunch of people are renting vast rigs. I do believe, was it Octa.Space that won? Itopia there was saying about the one-click setup on there. So people are renting rigs, and they can easily just set that up, because you need to install this. If you're running it on your own rig for a nice, easy-to-use miner at home, like a lot of people are probably just using this, you know, you have to install this on every single rig individually. That's why running your own node, pointing your HiveOS rigs would make things much faster and easier. So anyway, you see we got going here. So I am going to, I don't know what I have it turned on to. Here's another thing I noticed too, actually. Oh, there's my wall, so you guys can hack me and stuff. Should I show my seed words? You guys want to see my seed phrase? I don't have any Tari, so it don't matter. And I'll just have to reinstall this and get a new one. But where the heck is it? Wallet, airdrop, pool mining. Okay, so here, look at this. When I turn on, I'm probably going to glitch out now. When I turn on my GPUs as well as my CPUs, I get very low CPU hash rate. So I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to start mining, and my stream's probably going to glitch out. And I do want to, I have it on Ludicrous right now. Let's go to custom. It's whatever. It's on Ludicrous. We'll see what happens. I got this here. Oh, is it working good now? What is going on here? Every time I use this thing, it does something different. Now it's working full bore CPU. That is so weird. Okay, never mind. False alarm on that whole situation. Where's my... Let's bring this on now. Let's take a look at this. How much CPU one usage? Oh, I can hear my GPU ramping up. GPU 2 power. Hey, it's not using too much. What's going on here? It will in a minute. 1.23, that. Anyway, so it's using that. It's so weird, though, because the other day when I was playing around with this, if I turn the GPU on, I'd only get like 6 to 8 kilohash. If I turn the GPU off, it'd shoot up to the 17. I'm still not getting the 20 to 22 that I should be getting, but it at least does better. Now, for some stupid reason, as soon as I decide to show you guys this live, I got them both on, and, you know, they're working. So that's really weird. Now, here's your estimation. So as we're estimating this, now I want to go into the pool mining. Yeah, here we go. So connected peers. So I'm assuming, because we're in the pool mode, now these are like the peer, or is this? Yeah, these are my peers I think I'm connected to together. Now, I could be wrong. Retro Mike, let me know. What's going on? I see you there. Tari reached out to me for helping them with the pool software implementation into Mining Core as an alternative to their mining wallet. But I didn't like what they want to do. What do they want to do? Fill us in on that. So, and then can we have an opinion too? What do they want to do? Because, like, I tried talking to someone who was setting up a pool in their Discord, and what it was telling me, what I wanted to do was mine Tari, whether it's solo mode or not, in my node, but then point the proxy hash rate to a XMR pool. That way, you know, you're at least always getting XMR rewards while having that chance. But you're saying you can't do that. It's somehow swapped through the pool. It almost seems like you have to solo mine XMR. Now, as most miners, you got to be large to solo mine XMR. So solo mining XMR alone is a pain, and somehow it sounds like that's not the case. So is it possible to fire up a pool and actually point that proxy hash rate, the merge mining XMR, to like Hashvault or something. That way you're constantly getting those rewards. And I think this would be a big thing taken away from Cubic, especially if Tari does okay, because Cubic wants to do their CPU merge mining thing on the side on their idle time. If Tari gets listed and is decent and it can merge XMR together, I don't see a reason why a CPU would even want to mine Cubic anymore if we're getting a decent reward out of Tari depending on price, but we're constantly mining Monero at the same time all the time and not just in the idle time. And, it's crazy. It's another thing I want to bring up when it comes to Cubic here. Oh, I'm getting streaming issues. I got to shut this down. But another thing I want to talk about Cubic is this is really what makes me kind of upset. And I don't know if you guys are aware about this, but when it comes to Cubic and their mining off time, this is how I gather. I was talking to Jetski and stuff about it with his pool, and this is what's going on as far as I'm aware. So GPUs obviously cannot mine Monero. They have the option not to mine it, and they can continue mining something else in the idle time. Now, GPUs are also the dominant factor in terms of hash rates on Cubic right now, and it has been for about 3 months because they're locked into their current algo. It hasn't changed, and they're not doing that until they're working on some mining protocol right now, and they're not until they unlock it and get it released. It's going to stay like this, so it could stay like this for the next 2 months. Who knows how long? Now, what's going to go on? It was supposed to release this Wednesday, this epoch, but they have some issues with the mining, so it's delayed till next week. So the Wednesday coming up, the XMR mining should kick in as a needed thing. So what's happening? CPUs will still have an option. And they're going to be mining. They could mine, obviously, Cubic and XMR, or they could mine an idle another coin. They still have that choice, it sounds like. But if you do decide to mine the XMR through the Cubic chain, CPU miners have to donate their hash. You're not going to get paid for it. And that's the stupid thing. And the Cubic, or in the Monero that you do mine, it's going to come from Beyond's wallet. Everything's going to his wallet. He's going to be selling that XMR. He is then going to be buying Cubic, and the Cubic that he buys with that XMR, he is going to be burning it, which means dropping the price or dropping the total supply of Cubic by doing that burn process while buying Cubic to keep the price up. And people like we talk about this all the time, minus Retro Mike, who is in it for the tech and in it for the chains and supports the chains. I laugh every time I gotta say that. But anyway, we know miners, they care about profits. They don't care about donating hash. They do care about donating hash. They don't mine for free. And what Cubic is expecting is for CPU miners, because they claim Cubic community is a totally different breed of a community. Everybody loves and supports the project. They're next level. They're different than everyone else in terms of everything. I highly call that BS. Miners are miners. They care about profits, and they expect CPU miners to mine that idle time on their power bill at a loss and not get paid for it, while they can try to help the price of Cubic go up by letting the XMR go to Come From Beyond, which is the dev for Cubic, and then he sells it and burns it. Meanwhile, the GPUs are the dominant factor. So they want CPU miners to donate their hash rate to help GPU miners get more profit, is what it's pretty much looking like, the way everything has been looking so far. So do you agree with what they are doing? Do you understand that that's how this is kind of working out? And I keep buffering. What is going on with my internet? Hello? Coming in? I'm refreshing my stream. Oh my gosh, my internet is being dumb. Do I have too many things on? Is it the stupid Tari? Tari, shut off. Did you do this? Okay. Offer that all out and you guys didn't hear a single thing I said? Okay, shut anywhere. I don't think so. Wow. Are we good? Are we back? First time chat, Alfie012, and tanking XMR price in the process. Yeah, that too. That's all 100% sell pressure, guaranteed. Probably a dev, these peoples that are committed to their crypto. Oh, I thought that was me. Crappy net connection, yeah. They want to implement a hash rate cap and auto temp ban miners when the hash rate exceeds the threshold. What? That seems so messed up. That sounds like something Dynex would do. No offense to Dynex or anything, but seriously, that's straight out of a handbook right there. Oh my god! So that means that the entire network can only get to a certain hash rate. So how do they? What if a botnet rolls into here and they have the cap? That means he's the only one that's allowed to mine it, and no one else can mine it at that point. Yeah, having a hash rate cap for total hash rate is stupid. I don't understand that whatsoever. I won't support the hash rate based banning, so won't implement it in my fork of mining core. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I wouldn't implement that either. That is really dumb. Really, really dumb. He's gonna be like, oh, well, like those miners who's mining to, keep their yields higher or something stupid like that. But like, then you're shutting down half the network. You're shutting down your security. You're limiting your security at that point as well. Like, yeah, that don't make any sense. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. We need solo mining with quantum chips. It needs solo quantum chip mining. Yeah, Layla, get that going. I'm sure Bitmain's got that in the works, huh? Why all the hype on Tari? Any good fundamentals? I don't know. It's just a new coin and we're trying it out and hopefully it does something. We're itching for profits. Probably a dev. These people are committed to their crypto. What do we got here? It's the RPM Tari DDoS. Morning, guys. Retro Mike, any plans to add Doge solo pool? Cap per pool, not for the whole network. Oh, it's a cap per pool. Oh, so any pool. Oh, so they're trying. So that's 100% a Dynex thing that they're pulling the playbook out from there, because that's exactly what they did. Remember, they limited the hero miners thing because they don't want any pool to be 50% plus of the network. So they want to make sure they stay at I don't know what Dynex's is, 35 or 40% is max. So that sounds like that's what Tari wants to do, is each pool has a cap limit of hash rate, but the total network continue to grow based on the pools. But no, they don't even have any pools right now, so I don't even know why they're thinking this far ahead. My phone turned into a vibrator with price appreciation notification. Yeah, it's crazy, huh? The price stuff. Doge solo pool if customs ever clears my cold shell miners. Oh man, they're stuck in customs. Craziness. So speaking of a few things here, let's jump into this. Kaboom! GPU mining. Yesterday, Quai was picking up and looking pretty. Here's Quai again. It's actually back up. I just hit the refresh button here. But let's take a look here. So we look at the 5090 on Quai. So we can see our yields right now is 16.62 Quai. And I was looking at my video the other day on what it was at. And we can see exact same. You can see it's a 5090 right here. We're at 20.81. So we can already see that obviously the yields are dropping from yesterday, from 20.81 to currently 16.62. But the good thing here is the price is continuing to increase at $1.96 revenue right now. And we're looking at a current profit of 64 cents. That's all good. Another thing with Quai, though, you got to remember, it takes 2 weeks to get your coins. Remember Nexa, you had the 7-day lockup? Well, this is doubled of that. This is a 14-day lockup. So that means anything you're mining right now, you're not going to see. What is today? Today is currently the 10th. So you're not going to see any coins you mine today to the 24th. So that means by the 24th, we got to hope that this is still pumping, or you could be mining at a loss right now on top of the yields dropping. By the time you get your coins, the pumps could be over and Quai is back to not making anything. So you do have a 2-week delay before you even get your coins. I was thinking about, what, now would be a good time to mine this and, maybe just convert straight to Bitcoin. Because remember, when these coins pump, they're going to pump once and they're going to be done and dead forever, and they won't be back for another 4 years if the project survives the bear market. So we got to think of that as well. So, by the time you get then I realized, oh wow, Quai is, it takes a long time to get your coins. I forgot about that. It's also kapow, which increases that power cost because it burns so much power. So, by the time you get your coins, you might not be worth mining them right now. That network hash rate is climbing. If we look in here, we can see we're at 3.31. Yesterday when I did the video on that, we're sitting about 1.1 right here, and we can already see the sharp climb starting to pick up. It's not much. We're still down quite a bit. I'm on the wrong thing here so you guys can see. But yeah, we're about right here when I made that video, and now we're up to here already, 1.24 hash rate. So not a massive gain yet, but I think over the next couple of days, if it stays in the profit range, it will pick up. I highly doubt we'll get back up to here. It really needs a huge pump for that to happen. Or a lot of people realize that, I'm not going to see my coins for 2 weeks, so it might not be worth it. And then when you start looking at other coins other than Quai, we 12 cent profit. Like, this is a 5090, guys. It's super expensive GPU, 64 cent profit, 12 cent, and then we're right back to the negative. So we're still in really rough shape right now. But earlier today, there was some type of craziness going on. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, where is it? Do I have it here somewhere? I don't know. Let me check. I have so many things here. What was it called? Where? Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't know where it was. Not sure where it is. Can't find it. Maybe I can find it on my Twitter. Let me see. Come into here. Go to me. Yeah, right here. Wait, never mind. That's my live stream. What are you doing up there, Mark Carney, you arsehole? Yeah, here we go. When did right here? This was today. When did Ethereum move back to proof of work? Look at this. We got a CMP 170, $11.15 profit. We got a 3090 Ti at $10.07. We got a 4090 at $9.91, all on NiceHash. I then went to NiceHash calculator, and it was saying a 3090 Ti was negative 15 cents. So I was like, okay, this is an issue with hashrate.no, obviously, here, because they what is it? They always, they have glitches sometimes, and it was doing it wrong. But then I went into the Discord, and these numbers were actually legit. They're gone now. It didn't last, but there was a massive ETH buy order go across NiceHash, and profits went up. I believe a 5080 was making $9 for a little while. I think Keaton showed me his chart. He was already on this, rocking away at it. So I turned on my NiceHash, but I missed it all, so it's down. But now I can't find, where the heck is my Discord? Discord, where are you? Oh my gosh, everything is messed up here. Engage. Let's just kind of find that right quick. And go. Scrolling down. Too many chats. Right here. GPU chat. Where are you? Right here. Yeah, right here. It's there. So I thought, glitch in the matrix going on at hash rate. NiceHash definitely doesn't show this. And then he says it's there. And here is his profitability chart where it spiked on the 5090 frame. 5090, so it's saying $9.72. But yeah, it had a massive spike, but now obviously it's down. So was it like a fat finger buy order or something happened? So we did have a huge increase there on NiceHash, but it didn't last very long. So, that's something. That's something. You got to keep in mind, though, when we see things like obviously Tari happen and Random X and stuff, or we see any new type of coins emerge, it might not look good initially mining the coin. But if you check out some of these hash rental programs, NiceHash, Vast, things like that, Octa.Space, Chlor, any of those, a lot of people start renting hash rate, and therefore there starts to drive up a demand for rigs. So you could make a decent amount more money renting out your hardware because people are renting these for the FOMO drive of getting in early and things like that. So you got to look around. Bro, is Alberta leaving us? Do I need a passport for the Stampede? I hope you're doing well. I highly doubt it. Script. I don't think so. There's a lot of crazy information and misinformation and crazy things going on right now. Here we go back into politics. Why do we always got turned into politics here? Anyway, there's a lot of craziness going on, and right now everyone's like, oh, Premier Danielle Smith in Alberta there, she's just trying to separate Alberta, blah 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 blah. And that's not the case. That's what media and obviously all these liberal people and all sorts of crazy people that just like to just run with it are just spamming all over the frickin' place. And obviously headlines make headlines, so they got to keep promoting that. But the reality is that's not what's happening. What's happening is Smith, she says, it sounds like Carney might actually want to work with Alberta. I don't know. I highly doubt that's a thing based on his Greenpeace incentives. But anyway, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But she has said straight out in her own words, right in front, but it seems like everybody seems to miss the part when people say things that she should not support the separation. She wants to work with and see if things can get better. And then what this referendum thing did was dropping signatures, because that's the other thing. Oh, it's going to make it easier for people to separate because they can do this. No, she's dropping the signatures required for the people of Alberta to speak up. Therefore, if I wanted to overthrow the government, for an example, this bill isn't for separation. It's for allowing people to have a voice easier. So now if I wanted to, do whatever, I would put this together. I'd try to find the new minimum amount of signatures, and then I could take it to them. And then they'll be like, okay, well, you got the signatures. We'll look at this in Parliament and then go from there. And then you have to have a complete province-wide type of vote. And then you got to have all this and other things as well to get to the next step. So all this is really doing is allowing people to have a stronger voice if, say, you're getting ripped off by your government or something like that. It's stronger, putting more power into people's hands to actually put bills into Parliament on our own. That's all this is, but they're blowing it out of separation. Yes, there's definitely a separationist group out there that wants Alberta to separate, and they're going to be doing that, and they're going to try and push it forward and all this stuff. And yeah, that's allowing them to get it heard easier and push it in there. Yeah, but once it gets to that point, I don't think it's going anywhere, because as much as they claim so many people want to and all this, I highly doubt that. Like I'm 100%, for Alberta and stuff, and the oil and gas and all that. I've worked in it almost my entire life and stuff, but I am not for separating at all. Even though they declare all the conservatives want to separate, all these people want. No, it's not. It's just a small group that has such a loud voice right now, and everyone's just honing in on that, saying that's what's going to happen. So everyone in the world thinks Alberta wants to do this so badly, when that is not the case. It's just getting blown out of proportion, and I really think it's not going to happen. So that's my 2 cents on the situation from living here and stuff. Anyway, continuing on. Is there any service to rent Windows machines on cloud? Need to transfer assets to exchange? I'm not sure if there's, to rent, NiceHash, there's the NiceHash program. You can use that on your Windows PC and stuff. As for other ones, I'm not really sure if there's, Cryptex actually, no, that's not a rental. That's just mining, but you can convert stuff, but that's a decent app as well. Script, agreed. Agreed won't happen, but she seems to have the people of the province in mind, like her a lot. BC sucks. Yeah, I've been hearing. Well, it all depends where you look, where you hear it from. Like, things get blown out of proportion so fast and easy. It's absolutely insane. My phone turned. Okay, we went through that. What else we got here? We got 94 viewers, 24 likes. Hit that like button, guys. And donate a couple $1,000. Where's that donation button? It's there. So I'm just kidding. Don't do that, but you can if you want. You can spin up a Windows PC on Octa. Really? Octa works on Oh, wow. Octa's next level. So Octa.Space is cheap fees, works on Windows, which, Retro Mike will be shaking his head and saying, guys, never use, Itopia also. Guys, you got to use Linux always, but you got to think, there's users out there that have no clue how to, I'm one of them. I have an idea, because I'm kind of used to, long time ago when I used to use DOS to play games, before Windows was out, there's DOS, that's my whole Linux experience, which isn't technically Linux, but it's command prompt, so it's kind of like it. But just from remembering that, it's kind of where I got my basic Linux skills, which is 0. So I need to learn a lot of Linux, but having something available in Windows like that opens up the floodgates for a large amount of people. So I wasn't aware Octa.Space could do that on Windows PCs. So that's actually pretty sweet, and I might have to try it. You can run a Windows VM and Docker on Linux. You can also just install proxy or BPM server on a regular rented VPS. So that's a lot of technical terms I don't really know. No, I'm just kidding. But that's interesting. I don't know how to do half that stuff. I'd have to look into it. Like Docker. What is Docker? I hear everyone talk about Docker all the time, and I have no idea how it works or what it even is. Topi uses Docker all the time. He's always talking about it, and I'm just like, what is this? I've literally created a video on how to run a whole Windows install and Docker and Linux. You made a lot of those, and you're great. Everyone, if you want to learn stuff about nodes and setting up things and Linux and all this stuff, check out Retro Mike 100%. He has a lot of stuff out there on that. I've watched a few of them to figure out some things, and just do it. Do it now. Well, not now. Do it after the stream. Then do it. Yeah. Okay. Retro Mike, need to try that. What does everyone think about the AMD 7745HX processors doing mining? That's the mobile ones, right? Is that like the misinforms? Well, the AMD, strictly the CPU is the mobile one, but like I know people have been buying the misinformed ones of those mobile processors, and they like them. They're efficient. They mine well. I think the downside to what the misinformed ones are anyway is the expandability. Like I never had one. I never really looked at them, but it sounds like expanding them if you wanted to, I don't think really you have much options. I could be wrong though. Like I said, I never looked into them. I just seen a couple people talking about expandability as the limiting factor when it comes to those. Mobile processor doing, they're really efficient for mining. They're great for sure. They're efficient. You can't really go wrong with them. But like you said, expandability, resale value, hard to say, but yeah, other than that, when it comes to straight mining, they're good. They do the job well. You can sign. Okay, we went through that. Anything else we got going on? What else do I have here? Anything else to look at in my tabs here? Tari block. Oh yeah, we got Tari Block Explorer. This thingamajigger. So here's the block times. It says 0 minutes. I don't know what the block times actually are supposed to be. Here's your time frames, difficulty adjustments across the chain. Let's just zoom out. Bam, 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 bam. SHA-3. So that's the one thing. They had. I wish I could find the original documentation that I had on there when they were running their test net. So they are aware that ASICs could come fairly fast for the GPU side because it's SHA-3. That's kind of like an Aletheum and a Kaspa thing. No, it's a little bit different, but the baseline of it is kind of like that. So they do expect ASICs could come. Now I can't remember what they said. If ASICs did come, if they would just accept them and say they're done with GPUs, or if they plan on forking it. I don't remember what their actual thing was, but they are aware, and it was straight up in their documentation that they could expect ASICs to come fairly fast. Will they? It probably comes down to the price or anything. But the big thing here, obviously, I love the random X side, and I love the fact that you have the potential to boost your income with the merge mining of Monero, which I need to figure out here somehow. But I think that's major. I think that's huge because unlike Cubic, who wants to do the idle time and they're stealing your hash anyway, unless you decide to mine it on your own, which is an option. But then it's not doing anything for this whole infrastructure they're trying to put in to even boost their price. It'll be hilarious if they're doing all this work for how many months now, and it'll be funny if no CPU miners do it. And I think that's the way it's going to go. The only people that might be doing it is the devs themselves. Because I'm not donating my hash rate so Cubic can give the GPUs there more money at my power bill's expense. It's not happening. Good luck. Not doing it. So I don't know. I don't expect or imagine most of you guys would do that either. It doesn't make any sense in my mind. Anyway, but I think that'd be sweet. They will get my FPGAs and deal with it. Oh, they will. Retro Mike's going to be programming some FPGAs up for this. So do it. That'd be hilarious. 24 hours on Tari, no coins in my wallet. Yeah, so I kind of tried going through that earlier before everything started glitching out. But based on the universe that they're really trying to push on people here, which I think is dumb. Like they want everyone to solo mine, which... the amount of hash rate that's already on it. Did it show the hash rate on here now? Yeah, so they got 1.3 gigahash of Monero hash rate right now, random X. They got 2.4 terahash of SHA-3 hash rate. So, what is that? That's a lot. So, in terms of hash rate, let's just go into here. Let's go to hash power calculator. I'm just going to let's just work out some numbers quick. So 1.3 gigahash, let's take out the CPUs, 1.3 gigahash. All right, now we're going to take where's my phone? So the kilohash here. So let's go 13. Then we're going to go, how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to divide that by 22 kilohash. So this There's over 59,000 7950X's worth of hash rate already on Tari. Did I do that right? Let me check. I'm going to double check this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1.3 million hashes. So, yeah. That's crazy. So, yeah, there's 59,000. That is more CPUs rocking this right now. That's double than what Flux has for GPUs on its entire infrastructure. There's more CPUs on just the random X side of Tari than double of what Flux has in terms of 3080s on its entire network. That is a lot of, in theory, that's not a ton, but that's a lot of hash rate. And they want everyone to solo mine this coin through their universe. Yeah, I don't think so. It's not happening. That's why you're not really seeing any rewards there. Now let's look at the GPU side of things. How much hash rate do they have on the GPU side? 2.4 terahash. So they got 2.4 terahash here. 2.4. And what do we have? About 1.3 is a 4090. That's what all I got, 4090. So that's really all I know. So I'm going to go 2400 divided by 1.3. So then they got 1,846 4090. So they don't have much hash rate in terms of GPUs. They got a lot of CPU hash rate on there. It makes sense because maybe there's a botnet. You know, they're merge mining with XMR, so you're getting that increased reward. So it makes sense the CPU side is stronger than the GPU side. Let's try something. What is the hash rate in SHA-3 of like a 3080? Where's the 3080? Where's the hash rate? Is there anything? What's SHA-3 in here? You know what? Let's just look at like, do they have a lithium in this? Let's go into here. Let's look at 3080, RTX 3080. Now I need to find like, do they still have Kaspa in here? No. A lithium? No. Anyone know what a 3080's like SHA-3 hash rate is about? Technically, a little bit. Did you say SHA-3 or SHA-3D? Because that is why Kyla Coin changed that. SHA-3, just 3. It's just a 3. Does it say, yeah, see, SHA-3. Just straight SHA-3, no SHA-3D or anything, SHA-3. It's a core-friendly algorithm, and it's fairly easy to get an ASIC on it, you know, and they stated that, you know, they know that. But, yeah. But, you know, it's about the same hash rate as what Kaspa and a lithium and type of was on a GPU. I just don't remember what they did on like a 3080 or anything to kind of get an idea. But it's definitely looking like the CPU side is popular. Like, my mind, I think they shouldn't even have had the split chain thing. They should have just went straight all CPU. It just makes sense, especially if you want to merge mine XMR and stuff with it. But now, you know, they kind of throw the GPU side on to kind of cater to more people, which, yeah, you know, they can do that. But they decided to use an algorithm also that's very ASIC friendly. So that also kind of crosses out their plan of being GPU friendly for very long. So I don't know. It's really up in the air, but we can definitely see that there is a lot more security and hardware on the CPU side than the GPU side there. 3080 does 1.7 on Kekak, but what's that compared to? Because let me just come back, because my 4090 was doing about 1.32. A 5090 I think is about 1.7, 1.8 gigahash on SHA-3. X2 does 75 gigahash. Yeah, because 5090s, I think, like people were saying in the Tari Discord on that, they were getting about 1.7, 1.8 gigahash on their 5090s, and my 4090 is about, you know, it bounces from 1.1 to 1.39 or something. So about 1.3 4090s, then I'm not sure what 3080s is. So it's hard to tell. Oh, Kekak, oh, it is SHA-3? Or so maybe I'm just not tweaked then. So let's just use that number then. So that is SHA-3, unless there's a little variant. So it's interesting. 30. How come people with 5080s are getting 1.7? So there's some. It's probably maybe because the miner's not tweaked at all. That could be very well. I bet you if Regal Miner, someone dropped a miner for this SHA-3, then we probably would see double or triple the hash rates of what we're seeing now. That would make a lot of sense. That is just, you know, their homegrown miner, as we know, they always suck compared to third-party miners. So that makes a lot of sense. A 3080 is like 500 megahash on Tari. Is it 500? So we could, so it's Kekak. Am I saying that right? It's almost like Kekak. So Kakik anyway is 2.4 gigahash on Kakik. And so that's what we could expect. So I imagine that, if this goes into an exchange, obviously, because third-party devs, minor devs like Regal and stuff, they need to get their dev fees and stuff. So they wouldn't even look at this until they are listed and then determine it from there. So I guess those are numbers we could expect. So yeah, we could expect 2 or 3x the hash rate of right now based that. So let's just do that. Let's guesstimate about 3x the hash rate on Tari right now. So 2.4. So that's about what? 7.2 or something like that. Let's go 7.2. Nope, terahash. Let's go 7.2 once a good miner releases based on right now. It's kind of hard to do because we're guesstimating, so it's not going to be accurate, especially when we fast forward and it actually happens. So let's go 7,200 divided. What'd you say 3080 was on this now? 1.7? 1.7. So that's still not very many. That's 4,235 GPUs on the network. So yeah, it's definitely looking like the GPU side of Tari is the smaller, less secure side, and that's interesting when you look at that. And the CPU is the dominant, more secure side. Charles Hoskins was trying to make ETC SHA-3. Kicked him. It was too soon. He got kicked. It was too soon. Coca-Cola. I remember that. I didn't know that at all. So interesting. Charles Hoskinson was trying to make ETC SHA-3. When was that? RX 570 does it at only 56 watts. 3080 does it at 316. That's interesting. So AMD is definitely a dominant factor on that algorithm. 100%. What we got? Hey guys, I'm building my first CPU miner, Ryzen 7950X. What's best coin to start mining with just one rig for now? Any of them, mess around with possible, Monero, obviously. Tweak your rig on Monero, get it stable using RandomX, and then you can pretty much mine any coin from there. But yeah, you have Monero. Zeph could be a big gamble right now. Like right now I got, where's my Hive? Hive OS, where are you? Hive. Oh man, I shut it off or something. Anyway, I do have some rigs on Cubic right now mining Zeph in the off time. I only got 2 7950Xs on, and I'm getting about 2 Zeph a day just in the off time mining. So, imagine 2 Zeph a day. If Zeph can see $2, that's $4 a day just right there right now with 2 rigs. That's pretty insane. So I am taking that gamble that hopefully once this audit is over, Zeph can do something, but we don't know. We just have to wait for it all to finish out. On the side note, I do have this Kaspa mining here, and I'm actually making more. I caught up here. You guys remember I did Kaspa mining is better now with Solo since they implement 10 blocks per second. So pool mining, I was getting 55 Kaspa per 24 hours. I'm now up to 65 Kaspa per 24 hours. Solo mining, getting more blocks. Now, the day I did it, I was short about 7 or 8 Kaspa, I do believe, so it was better to pool mine. And then right after that, the next day I was at 65 where I am now, but the day following that, I went through a bad luck streak. So see if I can find it here. No, it's not even here. Next. Is it here? Nope, not 5. It was like 600 or 700% a few days ago. Where is it? Oh, okay, solo. Go back. Should be in here somewhere. Maybe it was 5. Maybe it was this one. Okay, I guess maybe it was only 503%. But this took me back a long time. Like look at that, from 21.24 to 9.02. So that's what 21. So it's 21, 22, 23, and then 1. 2. So yeah, I went like 11 hours without finding a block, and that hurt that day a lot. And then, the same day it was pretty much I hit a 333%. But then after that, because we smashed such high ones, it makes up, 10%, 9%, 17, 57, 46, 10%, 30% here, 8%, 1%, 0.4%. Obviously that helps boost it up a lot as well. So, over time it should equal out. My average is dropping a bit. I'm at 116% average. That's actually not too bad. Not too bad. I am enjoying solo mining it though now. Profits are pretty close, and you know, it's nice to actually see this. You know, the price of Kaspa definitely is helping, but it needs to almost double to be really worth it. I'm still in the negatives. I'm still losing money mining with this miner each day. A KS5L, this thing is so dated. 3,400 watts for only 12.5 terahash. When what's Bitmain's latest one? Like 40 terahash for the same or less power. Like, it's insane. And the thing is, this has not ROI'd yet. It has not. And I can't get a new one or anything because this hasn't even ROI'd. This is garbage. It's trash. And I need this thing to ROI because I actually had to buy that miner. And I got ripped off when I bought that miner. I didn't get ripped off. I actually got a decent deal. They're selling for about $4,500, those ones at the time. I got it for $4,000, so a little bit of a discount. But right when I bought it, 5 days later, they went down to like $2,000. And I didn't even have it yet, and it was already, you know, plus 50% cheaper. So I really took a major hit on that miner. It sucks, but you know, you got to deal with it. And I need that thing. I got to keep running it, and hopefully it ROIs eventually. Sad times, sad times. I am stacking Raptorium currently. Nice. Thanks, guys. We'll start with Monero mining. Then I'm going to order another part for Ryzen 7900X. So excited. Should I get 7950X or 7900? You know, myself personally, I always say go for the 16 cores. No, you got to buy the same motherboard. You got to buy the same RAM. You got to buy everything exactly the same. The only thing that looks cheaper to people on paper is, oh, I'm getting a 7900X or, you know, a 7600X instead of the 7950X. But if you actually put them all together and split it by hash rate, the 16 core, the 7950X, is actually cheaper per hash because you're still buying all the same parts and you're putting in a smaller CPU. So I always go for the 16 cores. It just makes more sense. Yeah, it is a bit more expensive, but you know, it all depends where you live and you where you are, like where it is. Because you know, if it works out to be quite a bit cheaper, then yeah, 7900X could work out. But usually, like where I am, most of the time, it works out that you're actually paying less for the bigger CPU in terms of price per hash than the smaller CPUs. But then again, you know, you could have inflated prices wherever you are, and the 7950X could be like worth way more than what it should be, type of thing. Did you try the 5900 XT? Supposed to be 16 cores. 5900 XT, no. 5900 XT, 6. I don't think so. There. What was the XT? That was something different. The 5950X is 16 cores. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious if the next gen of Ryzen's though is going to have the 24 core CPU as consumer grade. That was actually supposed to be in. Was it supposed to be in the 7000 series or 9000? I think it was the 7000 series. They were thinking about. The rumors were leaking before AM5 released that they could have that. And now, obviously, they didn't. And now they're looking like the next gen. The rumors are coming out because right after the 9950X is released, rumors of a 24 core was coming for the next generation, which will be the last year of AM5. Will it happen? I don't think so because it's just like what we saw early 7000. But, you know, it'd be nice if it did. It'd be interesting. Now, when we actually see a big boost on Ryzen CPUs, I don't think we'll see until we hit AM6. That's coming from AM4 to AM5. We did see that boost. Increased base clocks and everything is huge when it comes to mining. And I don't think we're going to see that until AM6 does release with whatever the CPUs are called at the time. So, you know, I don't really have high hopes for the next gens coming, but we'll see what happens once that hits. 5900 XT is 6. Oh, it is. It's 16 core, 32 thread, 3.3 base clock. Oh, they dropped the base a decent amount there. Check on Raptorium. It is doing something. Yeah, I did see it was doing something earlier. Well, you know, we're in altcoin season, guys. Things are slowly pumping. Now they're not pumping at the speed I was hoping, so we might not see a lot of new all-time highs broken, but at least we're getting some gains here. So let's just look at coin market cap. And it always defaults to cubic. Why do you do this? I don't. Yeah, bye. Trying to rip off CPUs. Oh my gosh, cubic. What is wrong? Anyway, continuing on. I don't care about that. Watch list. Oh, no, I got to sign in. All right, never mind. Let's just go back to this. RTM, where you at? What are you looking like right now? You doing something? Boom. You had a spike the other day upwards to 00059. Now we're at 000 that. 1 month. It's slowly climbing. It's down from a year ago, though. Still down from a year ago. So we're still not nowhere massive yet. And we're definitely nowhere near 5 cents. Come on. We need 10, 20 cent Raptorium. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's look at Kwai's pump, actually. How's... Did I do that? Oh. QUA. What the heck is Kwai? There we go. So how is it actually doing long term in terms of highs? Oh, 1 month is looking good. 1 year. Oh, 1 year. Okay, so that's where it is. When did it peak? 32 cents in February. And then it... All right, so initial listed, pumped, dropped. So yeah, we could. Let's see. So we're at 11 cents. All-time high is 32. That'd be nice. That'd be nice if we could hit that. I don't have any Kwai coins, so it won't do me any good if it does that. So, and mining it when it's up, when it starts hitting like 20 cent plus and you just turn on rigs to mine it, there's a good chance you're not going to be getting it. You'll probably get your coins in this stage somewhere on the way down. So it's going to be too late. If it starts hitting 20 cent plus, it's going to be too late to start even turning on rigs by the time you get your coins. But yeah, that's an interesting term of events there. Let's have a look at good old Moneros. Oh, do I have the wrong stupid thing on? Yeah, I did, didn't I? Couldn't see much. So let's look at the 1 month of Monero. Nice. 1 year. Nice. Yeah, Monero. Doing what it should. I'm curious now. Let's just look back. Do we have Monero hash rate? Monero hash rate chart. Monero mining calculator. 2 miners. Yeah, there we go. I like the 2 miners charts. Hey, do they have Monero? Monero XMR hash rate chart. 2 miners. But it's not here. Monero. Alright, I guess I'm going to have to pick someone else. Let's go to Coin Wars, I guess. See what it's looking like. Okay, can we put this back? Because I'm just curious. Let's just go back to here. So we're in bear market territory, mining in here, say. Look at that, 1.9 gigahash, 1.8 gigahash. So let's go to hash power, 1.8 gigahash. And I want to move this into kilohash here. So I'm going to copy this. Now I want to bring up my spreadsheet. Come on, engage. Now where's Monero? Monero. Where do I have Monero? Monero's right here. Network hash rate. And kilohash. We want 22 kilohash. What was the price at the time? Crap. What did I look at here in here? So this is April 6th. About April 6th, 2024. Okay, in here, about estimates. Oh, 133. Let's say 133. Monero, where are you now? Monero, 133. So at the time, if you were mining then, you'd be getting about 0.05 XMR, making 70 cents. Making 70 cents a day. So, but now the price is at what? So if you're hodling this till 322, Monero 322. So if you're mining Monero there back in April, you would have been making $1.70 on a single 7950X rig before power costs. So that's pretty insane. Now let's just take a look at, so power costs, that was what? X3D is only about 140 or 35, 40 watts. 7950X. If you're running it without eco, it is about 170 watts, I believe. So I'll go 170 times that by 24 divided by 1,000 times that by 0. What do we got here? My power price is 12 cents, so 48-cent power. So $1.70 minus 0.48. That's a profit margin of $1.22. So if you were mining Monero pretty much before this spike, starting back in April, you made about $1.22 per day mining Monero on a 7950X CPU. That's pretty nice. Pretty good profits there moving forward on that. That's sweet, sweet, sweet deal. So yeah, the profits were there if you were mining Monero, guys. Were you mining Monero back then? Probably not. We were running around trying to mine everything else. I am also upgrading my AM4 rigs to 5900 XT. Sold all my 12 core and below and just rotate between Salad and Warthog. Yeah, I haven't mined Warthog for quite some time. How is it doing? It must have a hash rate drop and stuff by now, huh? Is Warthog on here? Warthog. How's Warthog looking? Down 2.36. I can't remember. What did it peak to? Like 5 or 6 terahash, didn't it? Now we're down to 2.3, so it lost about 50%. Sadly, it's not spiking at all, but that's okay because, you know, it might not be part of wave 1. Right now we're seeing Kwai coin and some other coins pump. That's altcoin season wave 1. Warthog might not pump till wave 2 or wave 3, which is sometime towards the middle end of summer or the end of the year. So that's just fine if it's not pumping yet. That just gives it time for more hash rate to drop off the network, possibly rack up higher yields for when it does finally pump. Because once Kwai and stuff is done pumping, they're not going to pump anymore. They're done. They're over. See you later for 4 more years. So it's going to be interesting moving forward. Did you sell your 1 million Spectre? No, I didn't. I still got it all. I still got all my Spectre. How's Spectre doing anyway? Let's take a look. Is it doing anything or is it dropping off doing nothing? Oh, okay, there we go. Spectre. So it's at 0.00104. Not the greatest, not the greatest. 1 year. Yeah, it's definitely down from what it peaked. It almost hit 1 cent. It was so close way back when. But yeah, now we're sitting only at this. It had a little pump the other day, 0.001. It needs a 10x to go back to hit 1 cent. So will it 10x? I freaking hope so. It doesn't mean it will. It might not do anything. We don't know. That's spec mining, guys. We have no idea. It's dead until it's not. And I have my fingers crossed for a lot of knots. We'll see what happens. Docker is awesome. Linux is awesome too. Like 500 mega hash on the 3080 from LP over there. Sorry, Twitchster guys. I was a little late getting to your comments, but there we are. I'm also upgrading through all that. All right, nice. All right, guys. So we are a little over our time when we usually live stream, so we're a little late here, but that's okay. We're gonna wrap this one up though. I gotta go to town. I gotta get the garden finished up and all sorts of other things. Zeph is killing me. I know, Bad Cat. Me too. Me too. But hopefully when this audit and crap is over, we'll see some price discovery again and things will be good. Up in the air, but I guess time will tell. Anyway, guys, I'll be back tomorrow for our live AMA. Oilers game tonight, beating Vegas 2-0. Hopefully we're going home. We're going to kick some more Vegas butt, so that'll be sweet. I got the hockey game tonight. If you guys watch Oilers or not or care, probably not. Anyway, I'll see you guys on the next one.
Rabid out.